Hello my soccer universe. Ever since the new year started, I've only released 2 jersey related videos. Yes, those were the top 10 jerseys from last year, as well as my state of the collection address. However, I wanted to do more as well. The reason why I've been only publishing review videos for the action that was going on the pitch was that I got a new editing software that I'm trying to learn and trying to feel myself in, and it's quite intense. I mean, there's cool things that can be done, and I hope that the quality of my videos will improve with time. However, I want to use the time now to study and learn up on this. However, I decided let's make a video this Sunday on a short topic, and I thought about it, and I frequently get questions about sizing, and so I wanted to tell you my approach to determining the size when I want to buy a new shirt, be it a new jersey or be it an old jersey. And I could whittle it down basically to 3 rules that I'm looking into. This should give you a little bit of an idea of when you want to buy a jersey. Will this fit you? Will it be too loose? Will it be too tight? I have plenty of jerseys that are either, because sometimes it's just a crapshoot, but you gotta try and see, especially if you're a collector. In my case, sometimes I just hang jerseys up like that. The one that comes to mind is this Under Armour jersey by RZ, where I had the choice between XL and double XL. I applied my rules, chose XL. It's way too tight. So there you go. It's not always foolproof. However, 3 general rules. Rule number 1, the 90s were really loose. If you worry about sizing and that it might be too tight, if you get an older jersey, and I would say definitely in the 90s or early on, the fits were rather baggy. And it's actually something that I really like. I'm a size XL, that's what I'm usually aiming for. If I buy a 90s jersey in XL, I usually get a very comfortable wide fit. It's even to the point that I can afford sizing down. My brother gifted me a couple of years ago a France 98 home jersey that he had when he was a 12-year-old, size M. I wear it. Yes, it is tight, but it is not crazily tight. I would say it fits like a modern Kappa shirt, if you know what I'm talking about. So in the 90s, I really do not worry as much about size. I usually have a good feel for that. If I get XL, I get XL. It might be a little bit baggier, but that's the fit that I prefer. The other thing to consider with the timing is that in 2000, Kappa released those super tight combat jerseys for the Italy team. This is the starting point where we see an athletic fit jersey, where it's really tight like a second skin. And you have to watch out for a little bit, but the major brands, I would say, they didn't start producing really tight fitting jerseys until the 2010s roughly. So this is another thing to consider. The 2000s is a period where it was more of a transition, going from a more relaxed fit into a much tighter fit. My second rule number 2, is anything south of the Alps you have to size up. This concerns brands from Italy, and this concerns brands from Spain, Portugal, and so on. I have very limited experience with French brands. Le Coq Sportif, the 1XL jersey that I have from Fiorentina, is potentially a tad tight, but anything from Italy or from Spain, I need to size up. But it's rather odd there as well. If I buy a Macron jersey in double XL, it is a good fit. It's not really a loose fit. If I go triple XL, it's definitely a looser fit, but you have wider collars and the shirt is really long, so that it covers also your backside. I often don't mind that, but this is something to have in mind. So Macron, going one size up usually does the trick. If I think about Area though, I mean, this is one of the really tight fitting brands where even a double XL, while it fits nicely, is really close to the body. This is the 2 Parma jerseys that I bought recently. I was so happy to get them double XL, and yes, they fit much better than the previous one that I had, but it's still relatively tight. Kappa is kind of an in-between of those 2 brands. I think Kappa definitely baseline should be a double XL, but if you go for a player version jersey, you might consider triple XL as well. But even for the cheaper replica cuts, I would choose double XL for sure instead of an XL. XL only if I really want to have that particular jersey and it is more or less sold out, and I know, I'm not gonna wear this a whole lot. Similar story for Homa. I mean, I have a very old Roma jersey from Chievo Verona that I bought as XXL. I mean, this is one of the widest jerseys that I have. Actually, when my wife was pregnant, I gave it to her a few times because, you know, she needed the room. It worked out perfectly for her. However, meanwhile, Roma has really become more on the tighter side. So for Roma, XXL is almost a must as well. XXL might be pushing it unless you want to have a really relaxed fit. A rule of thumb. I mean, it's clear that south of the Alps, and I say southern Europe, is a little bit tighter because people there are not as tall. So, you know, the letter sizes very much correspond to reflect the population. So if you buy from Italy, Italians are usually a little bit shorter. So you kind of see it all a little bit on the lower side of things. So I always take those demographic ideas a little bit into account when I choose my sizes. Rule number 3. And that's the trickiest one. If you go for player issue shirts, usually look at how they fit on the players. And it's tricky because sometimes players who really are in love with their bodies choose on purpose a shirt that is a size smaller. Arjen Robben was one of those that always wore super tight shirts, although his regular fit would probably be one size up. I would even argue that sometimes Cristiano Ronaldo did something similar. These pictures usually give you quite a good idea of how the athletic fit actually works. I have observed the following, for instance. A Puma jersey that was kind of around the 2010 mark are relatively tight. Nike jerseys, at least of recent, the Vapor Knit, are not on the super tight side. They're actually quite comfortable to wear, although the first few Vapor Knits might be a little bit on the tighter side as well. But the few Nike player issue jerseys that I have no problem fitting in them so far. Curiously enough, I have very little experience with Adidas. I have a feeling that Adidas jerseys are a little bit tighter. But in general, if you buy a replica like this Adidas jersey from Roma, which is an XL, Adidas have for the regular fit some of the widest fitting shirts around. It's actually quite comfortable to wear an Adidas jersey, and I have to say they're probably my favorite brand to wear just because of that reason, because you always get something that's a little bit larger, and it's even to the point where I can buy an L and don't have to worry too much. Yes, it's a tighter fit. This Benfica jersey is an L, does not fit like I really like it, but I don't look like a sausage either. But for player issue jerseys, I have relatively limited experience because I don't really have a player issue jersey from Adidas, and the ones that I have are a little bit older. I know that the Tech Fit jerseys, 2010 and thereafter, they were really, really tight for Adidas. It then loosened up again. Puma also, they are relatively tight. You also have to consider that the material for Puma is really, really, really thin. So sometimes I have a little bit worry about this, how sturdy these jerseys actually are, although you don't see a lot of tears when you watch matches. But Puma is for player issue shirts rather on the tighter side. So those are my 3 basic rules. First one is all jerseys typically fit true to size. I always make the cut around 2000 or before. Number 1. Number 2, anything south of the Alps, size up. North of the Alps, typically true to size. I have no problems, for instance, with Umbro. I definitely have no problems with Adidas, Puma and Nike. They usually fit true to size. If you're not getting the player versions, I think I have to specify that. And for most other brands like that, I got recently a few Castore shirts that I initially went XXL. Yeah, I guess I could have gone with XL as well. Both sizes fit quite nicely, although the difference between those two is not that big. Similar for this Mizuno shirt up there. Also rather interesting that this was a XXL. It fits quite nicely. Not sure if an XL would have done the same job, but I think an XL would fit me also quite well. It's not foolproof. I have a recent Mainz jersey by Kappa that I bought XXL, knowing that Kappa jerseys are usually tight even for the replicas. Well, that Mainz jersey was sized for Germans, so the XXL is really wide. So it tells you that it doesn't always fit 100%. And the last rule, of course, is look at the player pics and see how the fit of the jerseys are, again, if you are going for a player issue shirt. These rules should give you a little bit of a guide of what size to choose. Please drop a line below. What were your experiences with sizing when you buy jerseys? Give me a thumbs up if you found this video useful, and I will talk to you soon about more jersey stuff in my soccer universe very, very soon. Bye! Hey there! I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, here are some videos and playlists that you may enjoy too. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the little bell icon so you get notified whenever something happens in my soccer universe. And with that, have a wonderful day. Bye!